Hello and welcome to the Art of Confident Driving. I hope you're all doing well. Now today we've got a great episode. We've got the wonderful Sonia joining us, and today we are talking about late braking. One of the biggest complaints from parents and other supervising drivers that students do, that learners do. So let's dive in and see where we can go. Okay, welcome Sonia. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me, Liz. It's great to be back.
It is great. I love having you here. We always have such a giggle, don't we?
We do.
We do.
Love the stories.
Yeah, lots of stories. And one of our biggest giggles is how many things our students have in common. Mm-hmm. Isn't it? Like we will talk about this student did that and I'll say, yes, of course my student did that. So one of the biggest complaints I get from parents is my learner driver comes into intersections too fast. They are late braking. They take too long to go to the brake. What do you got thoughts on? Yeah.
And look, I've actually heard the same feedback from our driving examiners.
Yes.
They've said, you came to that roundabout too fast, and if that car had been a little bit quicker, you wouldn't have had time to stop. All these things. It's so important for safety to start teaching your kids to brake sooner. And I'll tell you what, parents, use this as blackmail and bribery. Say to them, do that again, I'm not taking you driving for a week. Ooh. And see how that goes down.
Ooh, yes.
They might correct themselves pretty damn quickly. Now, as paid instructors, obviously we can't threaten them like that. So I actually say to my students, if you do that, Mum won't be taking you driving anytime soon. Yeah. So then they try and smarten themselves up. But the seriousness of it is that late braking has more severe consequences in my mind than even going a little bit over the speed limit.
Yeah.
It affects so many more people.
Agreed.
So when you're in the car with your learner driver and you can see up ahead that the lights are red, all the brake lights are coming on, they're all blinking red, and your little Johnny is still pressing that go pedal, calmly say, get your foot off, Johnny.
Yeah.
And see if they start to pay attention. Instead of screaming, Johnny, 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 stop, stop, stop.
Yeah.
Just speak in a calm manner and ask them to take their foot off the go pedal.
Yeah.
That should make them automatically then move to the brake pedal, which will be great. We don't want them stressing out. We don't want them panicking, which is what that stop, stop, stop.
Exactly.
And don't use the word stop in a general conversation when they're driving either. Yes. Funny story. I was driving along one day with a student and I was telling a story and the word stop
was in the story.
Was in the story.
Oh, no.
And so they've gone to slam on the brakes. That was early braking.
Yeah. Yep.
So things like that can happen as well. You've got to be careful with your language, very careful with your manner and your attitude when you've got these young ones in the car.
Yeah.
But look, seriously, the thing that they need to remember is everyone up ahead of them is probably tailgating the person in front of them.
Yeah.
And if they brake late, it doesn't give you much chance to have the luxury of braking late before you're hitting the back end of that third, fourth or fifth car in front.
Yeah.
My son, I'll tell you a little story about what happened to my son when he was a P-plater.
Yeah.
He was the fourth car in a four-car pile-up on the M1.
Oh, no.
Now, I lectured him because I'd always told him about leaving that safe distance, looking up ahead. Yeah. And he swore he did. But what had happened is they were in the left lane, coming down the motorway, doing, I think it was 100 at that time, going through Nerang. A lady in the second lane across, so to the right of them, decided she suddenly wanted to be in the left lane at the merging section.
Oh, no.
So people were also merging on.
Oh.
She's come across.
Oh, no.
And it was just chaos waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And so the first ones, of course, have slammed on the brakes because of this sudden movement from this other driver.
Yeah.
And it was just that domino effect. And my poor son, even though, yes, he was looking up ahead, driving his beautiful Commodore that was his pride and joy, ended up under the back of a one-ton ute and got the bonnet all crumpled. Thankfully, he was okay.
Yeah.
But that's how quickly things can happen. And that's what we need to reinforce in these new drivers and P-platers, God help you. Just get with it and still keep practicing what you learnt. The things I'm seeing on the road from some of our P-platers, I point at them and say, I hope you're not mine.
Yeah.
I hope you're not one I taught.
Yeah.
Because their behaviours are shocking. Late braking, weaving in and out of traffic, causing other people to slam on the brakes, which is late braking because they're so close to the car in front.
Yeah, tailgating.
You just got to get onto them and tell them, look ahead, look at the bigger picture, be prepared for the mistakes of other people way down the lane ahead of you, and be prepared.
That's exactly right. But even starting with the good habits in the back streets, guys, this is so important. I've said it on many occasions that, you know, parents especially, you all are time poor, and I'm one of you. However, you've got to invest the time in the back streets to gain the car control and to make the good habits. So at every corner, I'm saying to my student, off the accelerator, over to the brake early.
Yeah.
And I'm prepping them. I'm training them into the good habits.
Don't you like it when they go wee down the corner really fast?
It happened the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, that was a little bit fast." And she was like, "Yes, it was." I said, "What should we have done?" She said, "Gone on the brake." I'm like, "There you go."
See, I let them do that sometimes.
Yeah,
because
I do too,
they
on occasion.
learn. We know they learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
So but I always say wee if they're doing it.
I usually exaggerate it and press my face up against the window. So I'm like, "Look, I'm over here."
Love it.
They're kind of like, "Oh yeah, maybe I did take it a little bit fast." Strangely enough, she did it twice.
Oh gosh.
So yeah,
Third
again,
time's a charm.
but then again, this is learners. They make mistakes, and
They do.
and again, any of you who are out there who get close to learners, please, you know, take it from us. But doesn't matter how good you think they are. Doesn't matter how many hours you think they've done. They can still muck up right royally.
Oh, absolutely.
And give them space.
Fully licensed drivers do it right royally too.
Oh
so
yes, big time.
learners even more so.
Learners even more so. But having said all that, you know, if you can train either your learner driver or yourself into braking early, number one, you're going to save petrol. Mm-hmm. Truly, you are going to save petrol. So coming off the accelerator and going to the brake early is if I had $1 for every time I said it, I would have been retired 50 years ago.
Oh, heck yeah, me
Okay,
too.
that's a joke. It's a joke, people. I'm not 80 in the shade. But you get the idea. I say it so often, off the accelerator, over to the brake. And for parents and supervising drivers out there, as Sonia said, to scream out, "Stop, stop, stop," it literally triggers panic in the car. So, you know, training them into the right behaviour rather than correcting poor behaviour is so much smarter and keeps everybody calmer, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, calmly saying get off the go.
Yeah,
You know, might make them think, it's their lingo.
Yeah.
It's more brief, isn't it? They
It
all
is.
use abbreviations. So
Yeah.
even if you have a chat before you go for a drive, come up with your code abbreviations
Yeah.
for your teenager to do
Yeah.
that, and let them know the consequences of the actions of others
Yeah.
that will then affect them if they're not doing their braking. But I love that corner one, Les. I get one extreme to the other. I get them either just whizzing around, like I warn them. I say you need to keep your foot hovering over the brake, maybe pressing it as you're turning, depending on the sharpness of the turn.
Yeah.
And I get them either stopping, like they will brake,
Yes.
and then try and
Then try
turn.
and turn.
I like the car won't turn unless you come off the brake, or doing that wee going
Yeah,
around
too
really
fast,
fast
too
and
fast.
freaking out. If they control it and do a good job, then good job, I'll put you on the V8 track next week.
So, folks, if you're not certain how to take a corner correctly, I actually go into monstrous detail. I mean, incredible detail in my Cornering Basics episode. I should have split it into two. I've actually got left and right turns together.
Oh, cool.
So don't, please, guys, don't be worried if you need to stop it halfway and just really work on those left corners. But I give you the exact kilometres per hour that you should take a corner.
Nice.
I give you the distance that you should be braking at if you're in, a certain kilometre per zone, which is usually 50 if you doing a sharp backstreet corner. But I do absolutely describe exactly what's meant to be going on for your cornering procedure. It's not just random. I've got an entire procedure, entering, positioning, exiting, everything. But again, it's up to you to come off that accelerator and go to the brake early. I would rather, and I say this to every student, we brake before and accelerate through.
Yeah.
We do not particularly want to be braking on a corner.
Ooh, I always tell them that too.
Yeah.
If it's raining, you'll be doing skids for days, mate.
That's word for word what I say. We'll be going for a nice big slide if it's wet.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right, so how about when a student brakes too late on approach to traffic lights?
Ooh, yes, that's a good one. So, and I'm probably not the only person that has this with her student in the car, but quite often we'll be approaching traffic lights and we've got front position.
Yeah.
Pole position.
Pole position.
And they brake late and they go over the solid line.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've run a red light, kid.
Yeah.
And it's an instant fail in your driving test. So it's not just behind cars. They need to keep that nice safe distance and brake gently so that you're not giving the person in front a heart attack while they're looking in their rearview mirror. But yeah, when you've got pole position, front row at the lights on that solid line, make sure they keep their wheels back behind that line.
Yeah.
Now, I've had some kids say to me, how do I know if I'm behind it or if I've gone over it? Mm-hmm. And it's a good question because some places it's easy to see, other places it's hard to see. So again, this is all that looking in advance, getting your muscle memory, showing you what's going on next to you.
Yeah.
So you can line your car up. Mm-hmm. If there's already a car in another lane, and you can see their wheels are back behind the line, line up your mirrors.
Yep.
You'll be in the same place. Some people have been told, I don't know whether it's by parents or other instructors, that they need to be able to see the line.
No.
In front of them. I'm like, no, you've got room for a bus there, mate. Move forward.
That's right.
But you can't move too far forward. Now, I'll give you a little tip on how I practice this with people whose spatial awareness is very limited. They haven't got it.
Yeah.
All right. As much as we've tried with the solid white lines, they still haven't got it. Stop signs, traffic lights, etc.
Yep.
Find a road with some speed bumps in it.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure there's no cars behind you because they get really annoyed if you do this with cars behind you. But a nice empty road with some speed bumps. Ask your driver to stop when they think the wheels are at the beginning of the speed bump.
Right.
Then when they've stopped, ask them, now move forward so you can feel how far it is that your wheels need to move to go up and over the bump.
Yeah.
It works every time. Get them to do it 3 times. Yeah. I always do 3 times for everything.
Me too, yeah.
It sinks in 3 times and then they nail it. They go up to the next solid line and they know where to stop.
So, guys, just to clarify, we really should have the nose of the vehicle just behind the stop line. So if the tyres are on the line, you've gone a little far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the nose of the car should be at the stop line. You can be up to half a metre beyond it, but beyond that, we're talking fail because then the tyres would actually be past the stop line. There's also, it's to do with the pedestrian safety, so we don't want them going too close to the pedestrian crossing.
Yes, I agree with if you've got a big vehicle that's got a long front end and it might go over, but I've always taught to have the wheels behind the line.
Yeah, the wheels, as long as the wheels are behind the line, but really the nose of the vehicle should also be.
So how would you suggest that? I've got my method. What's yours?
I've got my method, and I'm not giving it away for free.
Okay.
I will happily
tell them how to find it.
I will happily tell Miss Sonia after this. But no, I do have an absolute guaranteed method. Doesn't matter what vehicle you're in, and it's in my Stop and Give Way episodes. It is a subscriber only one. So yeah, you've got to go subscribe for that, but it's not like it's a whole heap of money. It's less than a driving lesson.
It really is. And guys, it's really worthwhile. I'll give a plug to Liz. She does have the best methods possible. And you can save money on driving lessons by simply subscribing to Liz's course and just having it on play while you're out in the car with your students.
Oh, I love it.
And just do it because it's a really helpful tool. Yes, pay for some professional lessons to make sure that you guys are on track, that no bad habits have started to develop.
Yes.
And that they're doing everything that they need to do to drive safely, protect themselves and others, and they'll be able to pass a test no matter where it is.
That's right.
Because we don't teach them to pass a test in a test route scenario because we don't know them.
No.
We've got no clue.
Yeah.
So as long as we're able to check they know all their intersections, their braking distances,
that's right,
their speed control, their mirror checking, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Use Liz's guides because, you'll be writing her letters and sending her flowers and chocolates because they're that good.
Oh no, no chocolates. We're in Queensland. They'll probably melt in the letterbox. But thank you, Miss Sonia. I love that. And just to clarify, here in Queensland there are no set test courses. Okay, there are set test courses in other states, but and even then, I still say to my students, even if there was a set test course,
wouldn't teach them.
No, you've got to be available to go to anywhere. So if, let's say the test is a 40-minute test, the examiner has got a 20-minute radius.
Yeah.
In other words, from the test centre, they can go out and come back 20 minutes away from where the test centre is. In other words, they could take you to any road. So don't think learning test courses is the way to be a good driver. So is not.
No.
But anyway, so back to the topic at hand.
That'll be another story.
We'll do that another day. Exactly right. What test courses mean to drivers. So yeah, back to our late braking. But I can tell you now that the parents that I speak to, the amount of times they say, little Johnny scared me, or Jane went so late on the brake, I didn't want to get back into the car with them.
Yeah.
So I guess, guys, that's a motivation to please get on the brakes early. I think a lot of the psychology is that the kids have watched their parents do the driving all their lives, and they see the parents late brake. So I'm not putting it on the parents. It's not all you guys. But you guys have got more skills from, 20, 30, 40 years of driving.
Yeah.
You know how strong you can brake. You know how easy it is to control the car if you really want to. But the learner drivers, they are so terrified of what we call jerking the car by braking that they won't go firm on the brake at the beginning.
This is so true. I've got a young lady that I'm teaching at the moment, and she apologises every time she thinks she's braked a little hard. But to me, it's actually not hard.
No.
It's where she needs to be. But I think her family are soft brakers because she's trying to stop the car from making that jerk. I'm like, you're not.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Just another little thing I just quickly thought of while you were talking about that.
Yeah.
Some parents are a little bit over the top, thinking little Johnny is braking later than he actually is.
Right.
Because they're watching the distance of the car in front. This is particularly with brand new learners, like they're taking them out on the road for the first time. And I've had scenarios like this where I've had to go back to parents and say, you know what, little Johnny was actually braking in the right place. It's you being paranoid about them rear-ending that thinks they have to leave 3 buses.
Oh, yeah.
So please get out of the car. So use back streets.
Yes. Yeah.
And show that your driver to just pull up behind a car that's already parked at the curb where you think is the safe distance for braking.
Yeah.
And then lock up the car, like put the park on, put the brake on, secure the car, get out, go and have a look at the gap.
Yes.
You will be blown away with how big that gap really is.
Yeah.
So that'll give you peace of mind as well.
Yeah.
And there's another little secret that I do, but I'm not going to share that publicly either. But yeah, just a little tip. And looking as a parent, when my kids were learning, I would have loved to have known that sort of thing.
Yes.
Because being a parent out of control of your car, for starters, with this little newbie at the helm, it's so frightening. It's really scary.
It is.
So that makes all of your senses even more heightened because you're already on that survival mode.
Yeah. Don't hurt my car, don't hurt my car.
Yeah, so before you and your kids stress out to the max over things that you really might not need to be stressing out over, just, sit back and have a little look at what's actually happening. How big is that gap? How late are we braking?
Yeah, that spatial awareness. It can be very tricky to teach. So as Sonia says, I've got as Sonia says, I've got a video on the website, which I allow anybody to look at. Hopefully it's still there. We've just had a big upgrade. So yeah, things have been rearranged. I've got to go check it out myself. I'm all excited.
I'll have to check that out too.
I know. But it's my students who I ask them to do a parallel reverse park. And then to finish the park, we're meant to be parked 1 to 1.5 meters behind the car in front.
Do you carry one of those wheelie meter rule things?
I may have 20 years ago, not anymore. And certainly not after.
My driving instructor did too, to be honest.
There you go. Well, after COVID, we all know 1 meter, 1.5 meters. We're all very aware. No, you forgot about. Okay, fair enough.
I was never good with, but I used to work for Spotlight. So I used to measure fabrics.
Ah, yes.
So I used to have a really good eye for what a metre and a metre and a half was by measuring fabrics.
Yeah.
But looking down the ground,
Looking down the ground is hard. And that's my point. So that's why I'll get the student to get where they think is 1.5 meters behind that car. And then I'll make them secure the car. And I'm videotaping them getting out of the car. And the looks on their faces is priceless because then they are so aware of, holy moly, sitting behind the driver's seat is such a different view to standing up in that gap.
Is it about 5 metres?
Yeah, it's not quite that bad, but we're getting there. It was 2.5 getting up to 3.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love the look on their faces. But that gives them confidence to say, well, there you have it. I've got so much more space if I need to fix this park.
Yeah.
because a lot of them, they don't get it first go, despite the fact I've got my beautiful recipe, which is utterly reliable, but sometimes they forget, and that's okay. That's a learner driver.
Yeah.
But, and I do train them to muck it up so that I can train them to fix it up. So, but a spatial awareness, as Sonia said, don't be afraid to pull over, ask your student to park 10 metres behind a car.
Yeah.
And get out and walk it and see what happens.
It is fun. And look, I just had another little memory thing pop up many, many years ago when I first started teaching.
Yeah.
I remember the driving examiner brought my student back after doing their driving test. And he said, I had to get my binoculars out to see the car that they'd parked behind for reverse parallel parking.
I love it. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. That is awesome. So yeah, when I guess, and again, you guys, you've got to remember, the faster you go, the longer it's going to take you to stop.
Absolutely.
So if a student is used to doing only 50-kilometre zones, which is great, that means you've started them in the back streets, congratulations. Well done you. They're going to have much better car control when they do go to the 60s, 70s and 80s. But you've got to make them aware of that. Right? You've got to remind them, hey guys, you're going faster, you will need to brake earlier.
Yeah.
The other thing I say to a lot of my students is momentum. Momentum keeps you going. You don't need to be on one pedal or the other. You can just be covering the brake and the car's still rolling quite happily.
It's amazing how many, especially new learner drivers, think in an auto, they've always got to have their foot on the accelerator, otherwise it's going to stop.
Yeah.
No, always the accelerator.
Always accelerator.
Unless they want to stop.
Yeah, exactly. It
is crazy, and that momentum too. And I've also mentioned to them that the more passengers you've got in the car, the more weight is in the car, the more momentum it's going to have. So the earlier you need to back off to bring that braking power in for the poor old car. And look, if you're driving an auto, it needs time to also change down through its gears. So a lot of kids think that an auto just is going
one gear.
go whoa, like that's what it does. But teach them to turn off any radios, whatever background, and just let them listen or feel what the car is doing in the back streets. Even again, you can do it, get up to 50 and then get them to come off the accelerator. So by 50, it should be in about third gear. It would be in my car. Yeah. And let them feel it changing down to second. Yeah. And then as they're pulling up to the curb, it might even change down to first. Yeah. Mine's, I think, still stays in second. Yeah. Depends on your car. But then going out onto the faster roads. Okay, that light's red, we're coming down the hill, come off the accelerator, and the car will start to go down through its gears. Yeah. And if you get them to be more perceptive or perceptive, whatever the word is, to what the car feels like. Yes. What is the car doing? Yeah. Show them videos on how a car actually works, how the gearbox and the motor work together. Yes. It's background stuff, and you might think, oh, that's not teaching them to drive. It is. Yeah. Everything to do with the car is what they need to be a part of. And some of the students say to me, oh, mum drives like this or dad drives like this, and they'd squeeze through that gap at the traffic lights. Yeah. And I'm like, because their vehicle fits them like a glove. Yeah. Their spatial awareness is so good. They know every corner of their car and what their car is capable of. You'll get there one day. It might take you 10 years, but you'll get there one day.
That's right. And see, again, it's attitude. The kids, they've been watching parents and everybody else drive, and they think, it can't be that hard. Guess what, kids? It is. It's complex. It's incredibly, combination of legs and arms and eyes and ears and everything. So, first of all, be kind to yourself. But, make life for you and your supervising driver easier. Come off your accelerator and go to your brake earlier than what you think. Truly, it will make your trip around learning to drive so much more happier. Because, and think of it this way, you can always accelerate again, but you can't always brake again.
Very true.
There you go. You don't want to run out of braking room. You don't want to scare yourself. I had a student do it the other day. She was coming up to a set of lights. The car was in front of her. We were on a downhill. Oh. Now, she is a non-bike rider. And this might sound weird, guys, but trust me, it's one of the first questions I ask my students. Do you ride bikes? And often, because they're in high school, they haven't ridden them in years. But I say, yes, but you did ride bikes. So it helps understanding how momentum works being a bike rider. Yeah. And it takes longer for my non-bike riders to get it. Yeah. That a downhill can make such a big difference to how you're stopping or moving. So yeah, this is a non-bike rider. So she doesn't really notice the downhills. So it wasn't a big downhill either. It was just a nice incline. But yeah, she was braking as if we were flat, and I'm like, oh no, baby girl, we need to brake a whole lot earlier. And she did scare herself. Like, I ended up just touching the brake. She went eventually, but I touched the brake just at the end, just to, stop her from being under 1 meter away from the car in front.
Crikey.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's a bit close. And that's the point. It's, I'd rather you guys brake too early and then just roll up to the spot you want than to slam on the brakes at the last second and scare yourself and scare everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's, yeah. How many times a day do we say it?
I've lost count.
Lost count. Lost count is exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been yet another fantastic episode with Miss Sonia.
So much fun.
Oh, we do have so much fun, don't we? We will do a video one eventually when, we've all glamoured up, but we just like hanging out. So we're going to keep it, vocal for the moment, but we will do a video eventually.
We will. Even more fun.
Even more fun. So guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you've gotten something out of it, because that's why we do this. We're trying to give you guys information to be happier, safer, and more healthy drivers with some good healthy habits instead of nasty habits that scare you and other people.
Absolutely. Living in fear is not good for your organs.
No, we want to be cool, calm and collected.
We do.
Using logic, not fear. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Please, as always, be kind, be safe, and relax and enjoy the drive. We'll catch you next time.
Cheerio.
Bye.